jazz, and no one can define hard bop better than Art Blakey, because he is a drummer first of all, a band leader number two, and last but not the least, he is an institution. Now what do you mean by that? Is more than 250 or some such odd count is there. There was a website called artblakey.net. Unfortunately, that website is no longer there. The last I saw some 3-4 years ago, they had mentioned that about something like 217 musicians passed through under the what do you call leadership of Art Blakey. So, and on an average, they spend not more than 2 to 3 years, and after that, they will go on to do their own thing. So, Art Blakey, as a as a jazz leader, as a jazz musician, is in the larger scheme of things is very important. And when we see the kind of people who have passed out through that institution, we'll be really astonished at all the big names who have come from there. So let's go ahead and
Club Art Blakey for Art Blakey. Art Blakey and the
this is a typical Art Blakey introduction, that there will be these big rolls, snare drum rolls, there will be a lot of crash of the cymbals and so on. Prasanjit will definitely show about that, talk about that a little later. And this is the first Art Blakey album that I ever heard in my life, and I'm so impressed with that. It's called A Night at Birdland, and they were recording for Blue Note Records, and it was a live session that was recorded by Blue Note. So let's go ahead and take a look at the man, the drummer, the institution, and what has been his influence over. That's the first known usage of the term jazz messengers. Okay, and as you say, let's have a walk. So we too will have a walk as we go along. So Horace Silver left 1 year later. In fact, the starting, that Night at Birdland you heard, the introduction which you heard, that had Horace Silver also in that particular album, and you will see the name mentioned again. And the institution was born, and after that Blakey continued with the jazz messengers from 55 to 1990. Absolutely no change in the style of music, because just because there was a new trend like electronics or free wave or neo pop or anything. He didn't change any of that. He just stuck to hard bop. That's it. And the musicians who came out under him, they were also hard bop musicians, but they later on went on to many other things. What drumming is all about. Basically, Prasanjit will show that, but let me just talk about that all the same. Is that the drumming style of Blakey is, every drum, if you think drums are drums and like every drum set sounds the same, it's not so. I'll play one track a little later, and Max Roach is the other big name in drumming, was also a band leader. So Max Roach's drum style is completely different. It's as good as him having a separate voice. Whereas Blakey's style is, it's a really loud, booming sound. And I mean booming in every sense of the word. The bass drum, the big one that you see over there, he'll be doing that a lot. The snare's sound will be loud. And the tom, and like you say, in the beginning we heard that 4 bars, the rolls. He frequently uses the rolls a lot. Like when suppose
Keeps the mind active.
and he did it. Most of the people who came in, most of the musicians, who came into his group were, average age was 18, 20, 22. So they would stay for 2 years, 3 years out. And he practiced that philosophy. So maybe that's why his music also went on for such a long time. It was, people still loved it. So let's take a look at, I think we already mentioned this, you already heard this. I'm not going to repeat it. The intro theme, repeat of the intro theme,